Hey there, this is Chris and Cindy. Welcome to our champagne life. Alright, so we promised you guys a tour of our boat, so here we go. This is another Chance. She is a Searay 440 Express Bridge. She's 44 feet, but 49 overall. 49 feet overall. So we'll just start the tour. So this is the pastoral. We are going to do a little video on that because somebody asked us to, but this is so we can board without having to step down and step up and all around. So come on board.
This is a swim platform, the ladder access for when you're swimming.
So this is our swim platform. We actually have a second swim platform attached over there. We have seen them with an hydraulic platform, which is really nice. That would be nice. We have a nice storage back here. We keep lines, storage, and it's huge.
Transom shower.
Okay, this is the cockpit. One of the things on our checklist for our boat was to have a really good sized cockpit, and a lot of the times you lose that on a fly bridge, but on this style boat you did not at all. We do have a nice seat here. It seats at least four people comfortably. If you're naughty styles, maybe 6 or 8 as they're always shoving people in. And then we have this little square cocktail table as of right now, but we are going to be replacing that with a really nice table that is being made. And then we have our deck chairs here where we hang out. We have our engine hatch here, which will show you the engine compartment later. So come on into the salon. All right, so this is the salon. We have seating for probably freaking 20 people. It's quite insane. This doubles as our dining room table. We sit here to, watch TV and whatnot. We do have a nice 43-inch TV, which is pretty nice. We just added that to the boat. Also, the table drops down, and there's a lower pole for that. It drops down onto the lower pole. Then there's cushion inserts that go on top of the table, and this turns into a giant weird sized bed. Which is great if you have extra guests, so you're able to have 6 people stay aboard very comfortably. Or a really fun idea I was always wanting to do is to have a movie night out here where you're lounging all cute like you're in a TV commercial, but I don't think Chris wants to do that, so laying like cute. Oh yeah, there's another storage cabinet up here, and we just keep our board games and entertaining platters in that. We also have, there is storage space up on these little decks here. Obviously we're not going to fill them with storage, but when we start bringing our cat Stella on board, those and the flamingos will be Stella's space, we're imagining, I'm hoping. And then we also have a little bit of storage area up here. Big fan of baskets on boats. If you get a basket like this, you can fill it with stuff and it looks really cute, and it gives you additional places for storage. I have another basket over here. This is our remotes for the televisions. All of these windows do have blinds that go to them. We're just really weird. We like a lot of light. But if you ever wanted to close the whole boat in for privacy, you're able to do that real easily. And then all of these have blinds that close also. So, staying overnight, you have a lot of privacy on this boat. And then over here, we do have a couple of chairs, which actually get sit in a lot, like a lot. And then inside this chair, we have storage, which is where we keep troopers' stuff. Nice storage here. And then Chris discovered, and I don't know how this works, that this pulls out. Okay, that didn't look good. And then we have a nice little ottoman, which is fun to have that. Chris did put in a new to us receiver for the stereo. And then we have all of our switches and everything. I won't go into detail with that yet. I'll let Chris do that.
So this is the 12 volt side. This is the 120 volt side. So this is where all the stove and AC converter charge batteries and air conditioners are on there, the microwave, water heater, and then starboard systems for coffee makers and all that stuff. And then over here is all the battery lighting, freshwater pumps, head system, discharge pump, and power vents, and we have a 12 volt, 120 volt refrigerator.
Oh, and I forgot to mention all the storage that is in the settee, I guess they call that. So all of these pull out, and then behind some of them, there we go. There is storage back there. There's also storage in the bottom of these, right?
Some of them, yep.
We don't even use half of it because there's just so much storage, and we don't have enough to store right now. And then we do have these cute little bar stools, which can just pull right over to here, and then we have like a little breakfast bar that we can dine at if we would like. This also works for extra seating if you have a lot of people. And then we have our ice maker right there, which right now is not working. We're going to be replacing that.
Or fixing it.
Or fixing it. Chris is looking at fixing it. And then in here, this is a fun little feature, but I have to blender that came with the boat. And this pops on here. And then you're able to make your margaritas. It's kind of funny. There you go. Here you have bottle storage for alcoholic beverage mixings. You also have glass storage back here. There is more storage under here. And then we have some more of the tambour doors. We have lots of storage. This actually goes somewhat deep, and you'd be surprised how much fits in this one too. And then we have more storage here. We have our little storage here. Built-in coffee maker, which is really nice actually. Then we have storage under here. A couple drawers down here. We have our built-in microwave. We have a 3-burner cooktop. This is a bit of an older one. I believe it's the original, I think. And then we have our Norcold refrigerator that is loud. Wow. But it's a nice size. We love the size of it. Plenty of room. We've been able to, stock up on groceries for, a few days, and we don't have to worry about it. We have a pocket door. So you're able to close that off. All right, then we have our day head, which is also our primary head for our primary cabin. We do have the separate shower, which we love. A really nice fresh air. It's actually a really nice cross breeze when we open the sliding glass doors, and that lets a lot of light in during the day. And then we do have our hanging locker here. It's cedar lined. We do have storage under this bench, and then we have 3 drawers here and another storage cabinet here. So there is a ton of little areas to store things. It's typical on a boat. We're going to come back through the salon, and we're going to go to the aft because we have a little aft cabin back here. So this has lots of storage also. We have a couple drawers here, which we actually use this for the grill utensils and stuff. We have a hanging locker here, which is a decent size. More cabinets down here, which right now we're storing some supplies. And then we have our aft cabin berth, which is big. It is at least a full-size bed, at least. I'm thinking it's a full-size bed, like a real full-size bed. And then we also have a drawer back there and a little shelf. So it acts like a nightstand when you're sleeping. There's built-in lights. Really comfy, actually. A lot of people end up going down there just to check it out, and they love it. And then we have our aft head back here, which is also a wet head. So if you have the attachment to go on the sink, you can extend it up to the wall, which I'll show you, and it would hook right there. And then you'd be able to take a shower in here. We also have plenty of storage here, ridiculous amount. And then there is a little bit of storage under here also. And then we've got the little shower curtain if you take a shower in here. For the aft cabin, you do have some privacy here. You're able to shut this door and then slide this hatch closed, and it completely closes that off. So we'll head up to the fly bridge. So we do have another storage area here, which is huge. This comes up and there is room for everything. And then we do also have a storage locker here, and then another storage locker on the other side. We do have our magma grill, which we love, 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 love. It's the rectangular one, and it just mounts right into one of the rod holders. We do use that all the time. And then we do have like a little side ladder here, so if you are boarding onto like some steps from the side of your boat, that works out there. We also have some rod holders over there. If we actually fished, we would use those. We actually have some rods at home, so maybe we'll start bringing those and playing with them. Yeah, the ladder for the side boarding can go on either side. So depending on which side your finger slip is, you're able to board from the side of the boat. These stairs are actually super duper comfortable as far as like the depth of them. I mean, I do have small feet, but you can see like my foot, you know, I'm not falling off the back of the steps when I'm walking on them, so they're very, very comfortable. And even walking down the steps, you can walk down forward, which is nice. This is our fly bridge. The captain's chair is kind of centered on the fly bridge, and it gives Chris, our captain, a really nice view of everything that's going on here at the boat. So he is able to see everything, and it's centered on the beam, which is really nice. Instead of being on one side or the other, he's able to see both sides of the boat very well and easily able to look over the sides if he needs to. We have a table up here that actually faces kind of sideways. It doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind, but that's the way this boat was made. I don't know why. I feel like we should go this way. And then we have enough seating here for comfortably like 6 people probably. I mean, at least 5 or 6. More seating here. So it really creates like a nice little social area around the captain. And then we also have additional seating on the front here. This is my favorite seat. This is where, when you're watching our videos, you're going to see a lot of my footage is from this seat. So now you know that is where I sit. I have my little cell phone holder, my cup holder, and I just sit here and I'm able to see Chris and see the front of the boat, which is awesome. I guess you could show them the electronic.
So I guess we'll start over here. So this is autopilot. It's on the older side. It does work. I have to hook it up downstairs. We did get it to work a little bit, but it's kind of aligned, needs to be aligned right. This is an old system we're going to pull out. This isn't even hooked up, an old GPS unit. That's getting removed, and we're going to probably do like an iPad mount / charger. And we got a Garmin GPS. I forget which model this is, but it's all touch screen. You got radar. It's got AIS, DSC. It is hooked up via NEMA network for the radio. We're going to eventually hook it up to the VHF. That way, if anything happens, we can just send our GPS coordinates over the radio. Plus, I could see other people out there and be able to radio them.
And that's what, a 10-inch screen?
Maybe?
Maybe?
Something like that, yeah. I don't know.
It's big.
Good size one. It's great for this boat.
Yeah, if you're debating whether you need one that big or not, just get it because we love it, especially if you're a little bit older and you need reading glasses for stuff.
Yeah, previous boats that we had, the screen, you're kind of squinting to try to see it.
Yeah, they were
Like this, you can literally, you're like driving, you kind of drive and you just peek right down right quick and you're good to go.
It's nice.
Down here we have all the engine gauges, normal stuff, you know, your voltage gauge for alternators, your temp gauge of for the block, and oil pressure gauges, and RPM gauges and hour meters. On this one, there's an hour meter down in the engine room that's more reliable. Then we do have a fuel burn gauge, but it's not calibrated, neither one of them, so may or may not do that, I don't know. It's not exactly necessary. Down here we have a secondary depth gauge, and you can also do your speed and all that other stuff. You do other stuff with that too, but I mainly use it as a secondary depth finder when we're driving a boat. Down here is a PA system that you can use, so if you're driving out in the fog and you can't see out the front of the boat, you can push different buttons to keep that going non-stop while you're driving instead of hailing manually. But you can also hail manually if you had to. And it also has a PA so you can yell at people when they're not driving right.
Or you can yell at your wife when you're mad at her.
Right. We got a compass up here. No steering wheel. It's your shift on this side. Throttles on this side. VHF radio and Garmin Fusion radio here. And all the switches to run the boat. Lights and blowers and start buttons and all that stuff. The windlass control up here for the anchor. And that's pretty much it for the helm.
As you come around this area, you have storage under here. And then there was another ice maker here, which we took out because it was non-functioning. And we are actually going to put in a drawer refrigerator. We also have more storage under here. And we do have a little wet, you know, like a wet bar setup. We have a sink. Actually, this storage under here is fitted with bottle holders. So if you wanted to keep bottles here, cup holders here, and then another pretty decent sized locker. This is where we actually keep our life vests, and this is packed with life vests. You can never have too many. You're supposed to have one for everybody on board, just in case. And then we actually have more storage under here, and so the storage just doesn't seem to end on the boat. And then, as a lot of you have seen in our footage, me walking through to the front when we're docking. So this is the bow of the boat. It's very, very flat and very comfortable to walk on. We have, you know, steps that come down here, and then we do have a layout pad here. And then as you come down here, there is a seat here with a cushion. And this is a really great spot to sit and wait while you're trying to dock, or to just look at the views. It's gorgeous. We are really grateful for the fender holders. I didn't love them at first, but they are very, very easy to get to. We have nice deep gunnels here to walk. So when we're docking the boat, I'm extremely safe up here, which is nice. Then we do have our anchor, which is a 50 pound, I think. We think it's a 50 pound CQR anchor. We love it. And then we have our windlass for the anchor here. See? And I do have a foot pedal here, but unfortunately the foot pedal only pulls the anchor up. So over the winter, it's on the wish list to put in a second pedal to drop the anchor, so that way we can anchor from up front. The anchor locker here, and this is, you know, where the back end of the windlass is, but if you look, this is all chain. It is like hundreds of feet of chain, all chain. And anybody that's an existing boater is going to understand that's a big, big deal, and we were really excited to discover that. The railing height here is really safe. Like unless you're extremely intoxicated, you're not gonna be falling off your boat here. It's very,
Yeah, it's
very
pretty
safe.
rare to have them hip height on
Yeah,
any boat.
I mean it's safe. So when you're up here and you're anchoring or just doing whatever you got to do up here, you're extremely safe and protected.
And you have huge drains that just drain out the side. They're like 2-inch drains. So no matter how hard it rains, it just goes right out the side of the boat, so you don't get any backup on the boat.
This is technically our windshield, but since we don't have a lower helm, we just keep this covered. And then these stairs going up are pretty secure. If you ever have to, you can lean down and be a little safer with them because it has the handle, but it doesn't obscure the view of the captain, which is really nice. We have a ginormous spotlight. And then this is actually an intercom, right?
That's the PA.
For the fog horn system. Yep. And this has a door here, so you're able to close that off. So we have a trooper on board if we need to close that off. The flybridge has a full enclosure. On top it's all canvas and isinglass. But you can completely close it in, which is really nice because as the winter months come, we're able to still boat a little bit, unless it's a day like today. And then this does roll down and that can close in also. So you can really be completely closed in up here, which is awesome. So we're going to show you, Chris has shown you some of the storage down here, but we're going to get into a little more detail. Well, really just show you all of them. So this is our first storage hatch. And it goes so far back. And so, there is plumbing, there is equipment, but there is so much room for storage down there. We constantly joke around about what we could import into the United States on our boat. And then this is where the air conditioning unit is. We have all of that equipment, but then we have all this storage here, which this is where Chris keeps his tools. And then we have a third hatch here, which our friend Trevor climbed into because it's ridiculous. So it goes really far back. You cannot even see how far back it goes. And then it goes really far back in here too. And then in this hatch, we have more plumbing. We have the central vacuum system, which plugs into this cabinet right back here. And you're able to vacuum with that. And then we have our canopy and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then we have a fourth hatch. We've never seen this much storage on a boat. Oh, this is the paddleboard and all of that. So just imagine we have a paddleboard stored in there, like a full-size blow-up paddleboard, and all of our other like blow-up pool floats and all that. So that's a pretty good-size hatch. That's insane. There's like so much storage. So if you wanted to use this boat for like, trips, passages, you could definitely like provision a lot of extras to go. This would be a great boat to take, if you live in Florida, to take from Florida over to the Bahamas and, spend a week or two in the Bahamas. Because, you really can provision for probably, with the exception of a freezer fridge, your dry goods, you could provision for like months. All right, and then I'm going to have Chris show you the engine room. And so we have two ways to access the engine compartment. This way is the way that you would access it, on a day-to-day basis. But then the entire deck of the boat can be lifted up if you ever needed to pull the engines.
Yeah, we got 2 holding tanks, port side, starboard side. That's the Glendenning synchronizer for both engines. And we got breakers for the 12 volt system right here. This is the breaker for the windlass fire system. It's a Pro Mariner battery charger. We got Caterpillar 3208s. These engines are quite remarkable, that's for sure. The turbo, very good engines. Wet exhaust system. This is the seawater pump for the HVAC system. It's a sea strainer for the HVAC system. We don't have a generator. We're looking into other options as far as that's concerned. But here's the fuel filters for the engines, reservoirs for the coolant system, there's an exhaust system for the engines, bilge pumps back there. That's the tilt trim pump, that's the oil change system pump. Yep. Decent room to walk around here. Well, not walk around, but crawl around and do work.
This is another chance. So let us know what you think of the boat, of the video, of whatever you want. Let us know. I would really love to know what you think of the boat.
Let us know in the comments what
yeah.
more stuff you want to see, more details, you got questions, we can go over more stuff, whatever you want to do.
I know we did have one viewer that really wanted to see how the passerelle works, so we're going to make a more detailed video on that. But if there's anything else in the boat that you're interested in knowing more about, we can definitely do that. We're going to be doing some projects over this winter season while it's stored, so you're going to get to see a few of those happening. You know, if there was no budget, we'd be refitting a lot, but this boat is amazing. We couldn't be happier. Ron and Rosemary, the couple that sold it to us, we really appreciate that they chose us to purchase the boat. It's still a kind of a crazy boating market, and they had a lot of other options for buyers, and we're just thrilled that we were able to work with them and be able to pick up this gem and love her for the next however many years. We won't show that. Oh yeah, the transom shower. I did forget that.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.